No, life is hard. From the first day you decide to be an adult, from the moment you say, okay, this is my life, I take it into my own hands, and I'm going to make the most of it. From the day you say, okay, why not start a business? Let me be an entrepreneur. Or from the day you decide to say, let me make a move and even fall in love. That is when life will begin to wrestle with you and combat with you as if you owed life something. Nothing is easy to do. Getting a job, meeting your own work targets, managing an enterprise, even feeding a baby is so difficult, so hard. And there's always something that steals your sleep. And some of you, on a typical Sunday evening, this is how you look. I call this the Sunday syndrome. An anticipatory anxiety for what is yet to come on the Monday morning. You are worried about the job you are going to do. You are unsure whether your clients will call you back. There's so many questions about what is yet to come. And that makes you very scared, very unhappy. Why? Because life is hard. Do you know that out of every 10 people who are doing something in this world, only 3 of them have fulfillment in the things they do? It means that when I take 10 people here, 7 of them do not have fulfillment in what they do. 7 out of 10 people have little fulfillment in the things they do. 7 people don't like their jobs out of 10. 7 out of 10 people do not like the relationships they are in. 7 out of 10 people wish that their lives were different. But 3 out of the 10 people are quite satisfied with the things they do. They have a secret, I'll tell you about it. Before them, this is me in prison. No, I did nothing wrong. I was in prison to take care of prisoners. I run an NGO that provides free to affordable community medical services. We look for people in remote communities. We look at prisoners, orphans, and destitute population. And whenever I go into a community or prison to treat these people, this is how I look. Very much engrossed and passionate about the things I'm doing. And for me, I think that out of the 3 people who are happy with the things they do, I am one of them. I'll tell you a secret about it. The Japanese have a concept called Ikigai, which means the reason for being. The Japanese believe that if you have a reason for being what you are, for being the social change agent, for being the rice seller, if you have a reason for being the DJ, the cameraman, the TEDx organizer, chances are that you will succeed at it. And so, out of these 3 people who are happy with the things they do, they usually know their Ikigai. I'll help you find yours. The Ikigai comes in 4 dimensions. There are 4 constructs. There are basically 4 things that make up your Ikigai. 1, to find your Ikigai, you must be good at something that you are doing. 2, you must love what you do. 3, what you do must be essential to the world. And 4, which is very important, that which you do must bring you reward. Let's talk about these 4 dimensions. Doing what you love to do. See, everybody in this room has some special skill sets, an ability, strength, a capacity, a capability in your class. Even the person who scores the least grades, the last of the class members in your school, even has something they are good at. Nobody is useless. Even a drunk man in the family, at a point in time, becomes useful. And so we need to identify that thing that we are good at. What you are good at could be given to you by nature, or you could nurture it. If you are fortunate to be a natural at what you do, keep it. If you're not a natural at it, you can nurture it. I am good at leading. I am good at influencing people to do things. I'm good at mobilizing and organizing people to do things. What are you good at? That is the first part of your Ikigai. My people, life is hard. And so if you want to do something, most importantly, that which you do must be enjoyable to you. You'll be doing yourself, you will be doing your community, you will be doing your boss, you'll be doing the country a lot of disservice if what you are doing is not loved by you. Why? Because everything is so difficult to do. Have you fed a baby before? You could literally chase a baby just to put food in their mouth. And so if you don't want to enjoy it, there is no way you will find fulfillment in feeding a baby. And doing what you love is the basic fundamental seed of your passion. It is within what you love that you can find your passion. I enjoy caring for people, and so I decided to become a physician and take care of people. I love it when I go into the communities, the places you don't want to go, the villages, the orphanages. I love to cross rivers and lakes to go far away where there are no hospitals and give people health care. And for me, it gives me a good night's sleep. Do you know one reason why you must ensure that that which you do is loved by you? If I take you backstage here, the things you see there are not beautiful at all. All the people you look up to, the big men, those who have made it, the social agents of change, and everybody who you admire, have very dirty backstages. They have a lot of things going on in their backgrounds that are not good looking, a lot of failures, a lot of tried and unsuccessful projects lies in people's kitchens. And so you may want to make sure that before you venture into something, you absolutely love to do it. A couple of decades ago, when trains and ships were powered by steam, there was some kind of workers called stokers. Let me tell you what stokers do. When you are cruising in the ship or in the train and you are enjoying the ride, someone holds a shovel and they carry coals, burn furnace down the engine room of the ship and the train just to power it. If this person did not love what they were doing, there was no way the ship could move for you. And so be sure that if you decide to change something in your community, you must love it. Why? Because life is hard. I'll tell you a story. See this very beautiful friend of mine. She's called Irabina German. Irabina worked in the banking sector for 4 years. One day she said, forget, I won't do it again. And she quit banking. Irabina would go on to establish what will be one of the biggest enterprises in the fashion industry, Wear Ghana. Why? She found that the banking job gave her no excitement, gave her no pleasure. But if she were to move into a space where she would love designing beautiful clothing like this, she would find her fulfillment. Please, by all means, be like Irabina. Don't do something that you're not comfortable with doing. Don't marry someone who doesn't give you butterflies. Do you know why? Marriage is hard. Maybe next year that will be my TED Talk. Don't do something if it doesn't feel good. You hate prisoners. Of course, when you see thieves and armed robbers, they make you cringe. But I love them. So I will be able to take care of them. And that will give me a good night's sleep. Just make sure you love what you do. Third thing. How many SDGs do we have? Wrong. We don't have 17 SDGs. We have 18 SDGs. You know why? A new one has come to add. They call it space for all. You see, every time there's new problems. We are living on Earth. Nobody has a land in space. Nobody has a family in space. Yet, United Nations says that as part of our problems, we should think about problems in space. Do you know how many problems there are in the world? I tried to count. I didn't find it, but I saw a mathematical formula. The number of problems in this world is number of human beings on Earth times the number of problems each person has. That's how much wahala we have to deal with. See, somebody has to pick the trash. Somebody has to do donations. Somebody has to establish an NGO. Somebody must feed the kids. Somebody must hold the old woman's hand and help her cross the road. Somebody must grow potatoes for us to fry and eat. Somebody must drive the trotro so we could go to work. The world needs a lot of things done. How come you are not an agent of change? How come you have nothing to do? There's so much to be done in this world. Of all the problems we have in the world, what I think the biggest of them all is individuals who do not contribute to solving the problems. You're the one in this room who is not an agent of change. You are the biggest of our problem. Because if you could hold one end of the problem and I could hold another end, the world would have no problems. The world needs a lot. You could contribute something. But there are people who have passion, like I mentioned at number 1. And there are people who love what they do, like I mentioned in number 2. Typical example, suicide bombers, very passionate. They have justifiable ideals. Armed robbers, very good at pulling the trigger. They have passion and they are good at it. But the world does not need it. So you must make sure that if you are passionate about something and you are good at something, it should have societal relevance. Find out what gap is missing in your community, fill it, and trust me, you can't be called an agent of change. Your Ikigai is not complete if that which you do brings you no reward. You know why? Life is hard. What's the point in doing something when you can't have anything for it? Nothing in return, no money, no incentive, no thank you, no God bless you, no opportunity, no scholarship, no. In all that you do, there has to be a reward. And it doesn't always have to be a money. If your efforts do not produce any results, there is no point. If to yourself, you don't find happiness, you don't find any satisfaction, you don't find any rewards in the things you do, you may want to quit. As much as possible, that which you choose to do should be beneficial to yourself, the next person, or society. Of course, I'm talking about fulfillment, I'm talking about satisfaction, opportunity, and the feeling of security. When someone tells you, thank you for doing this for me, it will make your Ikigai complete. To find your Ikigai, you need to make a very good blend of these 4 dimensions. A good mix of what you are good at, what the world needs, what you love to do, and what you can be paid for. And within your Ikigai, you can find your vocation, you can find your profession, you can find a passion, and you can be on a very good mission. My people, find your Ikigai so that on a Sunday night, you can have a sound sleep knowing that you've got a Monday morning to change the world. Thank you.